Welcome to the Be Happy Now show. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. I'm Claudia-Sam. If you know that you're here for a bigger reason, this is the place to be. Together, we ditch the self-care guilt and quit the go, go, go with less fear and more trust. Tune in to living life in alignment with your full potential. The Be Happy Now show starts now. Hi, welcome to another episode of the Be Happy Now show. I am live in our You Have It In You Facebook group where our community of soul connectors gets to hang out, be inspired, check in with one another. If you wish to, you're welcome to join us there. In this episode of the show, I actually wanted to motivate you a little bit, help you honor who you are and where you're at and what you've created and how much you've grown. And I want to open up this conversation of celebration, even though we had that in the 100th episode of the Be Happy Now show, where I helped you to celebrate and I shared how I celebrate now, how I see celebration. And today it's a little different in its spin, where I want to invite this concept that you are where you once envisioned being. You are where you once envisioned being. Take that in. Somewhere, sometime, you had a vision for yourself that you would be at a higher paying job, that you would feel lighter in your body, that you would love yourself 2% more, that you would shift the thoughts, I need to, I have to, I should, to actually I get to. Somewhere, sometime, you decided that you were going to honor your boundaries, that you were going to work a half day less, that you were going to make decisions that uplift you instead of decisions that drain you. And even if you don't make those types of decisions 100% of the time, you still do a little bit, and that gets to be acknowledged. Okay. So if you think that stopping to appreciate any size growth in your life, in your mindset, in your energy, in your emotional well-being, in your wellness in general, if you think that stopping to celebrate and appreciate that is actually kind of blocking the view of the goals, or it has you feel like you're going to lose sight of your goals so you can't actually stop and celebrate, well, in this episode, we are going to cover 3 tips that I have for you to not get knocked off track by these thoughts or by external circumstances or by people who just want other proof or other people who have a definition of success that is not yours. Okay, we're going to touch on that today. And if you feel guilty every time you choose to honor yourself or celebrate, every time you're like, ooh, I'm going to splurge on that, or ooh, I'm going to choose to go out for dinner and celebrate, even though I have food in the fridge, I'm going to choose the experience of celebration rather than dimming down and giving power to the thoughts of lack, of not enoughness, of unworthiness, of struggle, of the need to, the have to, the shoulds. Yeah. Because okay, am I getting it? Yep. Okay, cool. If you have any questions as we go, please feel free to drop them in the comments of the live Facebook video. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then of course, please share any comments, any questions that you have. My team and I check the comments there regularly. So this is where you get to see. I'm opening the door for you right now. Let's say you and I were sitting right next to each other, and I was asking you, what are you so proud of? What is a shift that you experienced this year that you're wanting to tap yourself on the back, and that you're like, wow, that is what happened. That's an opportunity I created. That is something I attracted in my life. That is growth that I experienced. That's decisions that I made that led me to where I am. What would you say? And I know for myself, sometimes I feel like, oh, I don't really want to share the thing that I'm proud of because they're not going to understand, or they don't really care. There's different levels of conversations that we get to have with different people. Like within my coaching community, the coaching community that I'm coached in, I get to share all levels of myself, from mindset shifts to inner awarenesses, or times when I would have made a different decision and I actually caught myself, or times when I noticed that I was spiraling down into more of anxiety or worry and I was able to spiral back up and pick myself up. Those are things that I will share in my coaching container because we get to have these conversations. And then with my clients, that's where they get to do the same. They get to share any connection that they are recreating within themselves to get to the truth of who they are, to, ooh, I saw this glimmer of who I am. Ooh, I was able to befriend love today. I was able to choose to let go of fear. And in that way, they get to share what's going on inside their inner landscape, feeling heard and supported and held, where in their family and with their friends, there just might not be the level of spiritual or wholeness conversation that we offer in soul connection coaching containers. So if ever you're curious about that, I am opening the doors to the Soul Connector Circle with a bit of a shift where I'm bonusing you $500 worth of coaching one-on-one with me when you join for the first 3 months in the Soul Connector Circle. So you can go to soulconnectorcircle.com and find out more about that. I'm going to shut the door here. Pierre Michel is coming home. All right. So here, let's just dive right into the 3 tips that I have for you to not get knocked off track or off focus from your vision by others, by circumstances, by even inner beliefs that you can't celebrate, or that, oh, I'm going to feel guilty, or, oh, they won't understand, or, oh, I'm going to lose sight of my goals, whatever that, wherever you resonate the most with this. So these tips come from their actual real life people's solutions that came from coaching calls. Okay. So I'm actually inspired by you, by my clients who get to allow within themselves these inner shifts and these inner awakenings and awarenesses and openings to discover more of who they are in a safe and supportive environment. And some of these solutions actually come from conversations and from getting curious in conversations. And so the first tip that I have for you to not get knocked off track or off focus from your vision by others, or by your own beliefs or thoughts, or by external circumstances, would be to get out of story. What does that mean? Take a physical step back. So when you're in a conversation with someone, let's say you're just feeling like there's complaining, or there's blame, or there's something that has you not really wanting to celebrate. You're not really wanting to stand in your truth because you see them not in their truth, and it kind of rubs off on you. So what's happening in these situations is that it can be that the complaining or the blaming or the downward spiral negativity it has a very narrow focus. Imagine it like the seat on an airplane right next to the wing. If you want to try to see outside and gain perspective, you can't. You see the wing. You might see the wheels come, like, rise and come down when you're lifted off or when you're landing, but that's all. You see the seat in front of you, the person next to you. You can't really turn around. You're kind of stuck in your seat. When we're complaining, blaming, shaming, and all the lower frequency energies, and we're trying to bring people down with it, or when we feel guilty and we don't want to celebrate because of whatever belief that we have, it's like we have that narrow focus of being on a seat on an airplane. And that is us being in story, or the other person being in story, meaning stuck in the he said, she said, this happened, that can be, that should be, that shouldn't be, this, you know what I mean? So that's the story. And what I'm inviting you to do, if you are in a conversation with someone like that and you don't want to get knocked off track of your vision and your focus, really lean back Like lean back in your chair. Open up the space to take distance and separate yourself from the story, from the spiral down of the person, from the narrow focus that they're in. It's almost like, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to stand in the alley while you have your little, cry for help. Because you get to hold space for them. You get to see it. You just don't need to engage in it. So the first tip here is get out of the story. You can hear the words, but don't turn them into songs. Don't make meaning from their words. And that step back could be like right now in your home. If you're in your home, or if you're in your car, or if you're in your office, and if you're in the car and you could step out, do that. But if you can't, do it later. Imagine that you can, if you can't do it now, imagine it, that you're stepping back outside of your office or the room that you're in and into the hallway. And then step outside of the house and see the whole house. And then step out on the sidewalk. And then step out onto the opposite side of the street and see your environment. Go and walk around the house. Get perspective. Go on Google Maps and go on an aerial view of where your house is and zoom out and zoom out and zoom out. Gain perspective. Get out of the story. Take a physical step back. Hear the words, but don't turn them into songs. Okay. The second tip here to not get knocked off track is to remember your vision, because that helps. Getting out of the story helps to remember your vision, your goal, what you want to create, what you want to experience. You get to now be the captain of the flight. You're the captain of the airplane. You can see where you're going, and you're not getting caught up in the drama back there in the cabin or in the main cabin. You get to have your vision. You get to see and have the perspective, and you have clarity about where you're going. When you can anchor and be the leader in that essence, then people trust you. People just follow along. They're leaning back. They may be in their story and in their drama, but they trust that they're going, that you're leading them somewhere. So can you be the leader of your own airplane? Can you, the captain of your own airplane, and really stand powerfully in your vision and your goal, and not let other people's beliefs and even the human ego's beliefs and fears and worries get in the way? Because those are just worries and beliefs and doubts. They're just thoughts. They're just thoughts. You get to anchor into your leadership, and you get to stay in your vision and in your focus. Does that make sense? Okay, the third tip I have for you to not get knocked off track is to, stay above the drama, to stay above the drama, not in it, not around it, stay above the drama. It's to let yourself be seen. Actually, stay above the drama is part of being the captain. So let yourself be seen in your successes without shame. That means like be the stewardess, take the microphone, share your thoughts, say a joke. Don't have to read the script. You can do it differently. Let yourself be heard, let yourself be seen, and you can ask permission when you're in a conversation with a friend or with a loved one with whom you feel, safer than with the stranger, of course, and you just want to share what's on your heart. Ask for permission. Hey, I'm really proud of something. It might be different. Like I've never shared this with you before, but I would really like to share like what I've been working on and all the progress I've made, because I'm really happy and I'm celebrating myself. And I would love for you to see me in that celebration as well. And chances are, if the love that you share with that person is reciprocate, then they will honor you. They will honor you. You get to honor yourself first. And so by letting yourself be seen in your successes without shame, it opens up the door for more things to celebrate. And sometimes that's what came to me as I was prepping for the show, is that it's almost like if we decide that we are not good enough or worthy enough to celebrate as we go, because we may lose sight of our goals, it's like only playing in the future. It's like only living life based on ideas and concepts of things that you want and things that you'll get to, but you're never there. Is that how we want to live life? No. You get to choose to be in the experience of life that you're wanting for yourself, that you're wanting to create. You get to be in it now. You get to be in it now. And that happens by acknowledging even the simple shifts. Like, hey, I wanted to wake up earlier. I woke up 3 minutes earlier. Woohoo! That is a thing. It doesn't have to be big milestones. Like I remember a few years ago, someone asked me, what is your vision of success? And I remember that success for me was like being on top of a book or being the speaker of a big conference or having my name somewhere or having my own, like being on air or, well, driving around the radio station vehicles and having the logo on the side of the car and being the one that was driving it. That to me was success. So anything less felt like, well, I'm not going to celebrate it. It's not worth it. It's not really a celebration. Except that's not true. You know, when you're planting, when you're wanting all the apples, well, you get to first plant the seed and then see the tree grow and then see the flowers and smell the flowers and see how pretty they are. Then they're turning into apples. Then you get to eat the apple. But there's a whole journey there. Can you give yourself permission to be on the journey, to celebrate your growth, to be the leader of your vision, to stay the course because you are where you once envisioned being? Can you let that present moment experience sink into your whole essence instead of taking your mind to what's lacking, to what's not there, to what it can be or what you actually really want it to be instead? Because what is in the present moment, what is what is. Can we be with that reality of the growth that you have created and that you get to experience now? Thank you for being here. And if you want to have these personalized reminders, and if you want to be in a community of soul connectors who flex their soul connection muscle and who choose to tune in to who they are and get to know who they are daily with curiosity, with courage, and slowly rising up the energy frequency scale so that you can appreciate the journey of your own apple tree, so that you can be the captain of your airplane and have perspective. And even when it feels like you're stuck in story, find that ability within you to get back to who you really are so that you can then take the wheel again, take the ship or fly the plane again and have that perspective and choose it for yourself and live life more in joy and more in alignment. Then I would love for you to join us in the Soul Connector Circle. Go to soulconnectorcircle.com, check it out, see if it's for you, see what resonates with you, and then leave us any comments here on YouTube, on Facebook, in our You Have It In You group. And I'm here for you. There are many notes in the show notes of the show. And so feel free to look at the links there and get yourself familiarized with my community. I would love to get to know you more. Thank you for being here. All right. I'll see you again soon. Bye. Oh, did you see the flowers next to me? If you're just listening, go to YouTube at Coach Claudia-Sam and you get to see the really nice flowers I picked out. Really beautiful flowers with lavender and these agapanthus, local flowers that I was envisioning. This is something I get to celebrate actually with you right here live. When I was envisioning moving to New Zealand, I could see those purple agapanthus flowers and they only come out in summer. And so now we are in spring and we're just almost at summer and they're there. And I see them and now I can actually celebrate and be in the vision that I once saw for myself and make a bouquet. So I'm celebrating with you. All right. Have a beautiful, blessed day and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
You've been listening to the Be Happy Now show with me, Claudia-Sam. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. You are worthy of being you and of connecting to what stops you from living the life you are meant to live. Access more soul connection coaching at claudiasamcoaching.com.